if this group of people have shared something together
Yeah.
and are together,
Mhm.
like, and it's for good. If you're working out, improving
It's
and you
positive,
go,
yeah.
dude, like I get so frustrated at people. I'm like, dude, be about anything.
Yep.
Anything. Like be about
have a community. Like, and that's what
something.
matters. Because then
Yeah.
that's what helps people connect and get, I mean, life
Yeah.
is hard. Life is not easy.
Yes.
And it's not hurting anybody. It's honestly the coolest thing because it's bringing people together. They're happy.
That's a great.
They're and like the support stories. Like there was a younger girl and she couldn't afford to fly to New York City to come to class. Everybody pitched in and bought her ticket and her hotel stay.
Yeah.
And because she really wanted to come to class. And then they all hung out, and people who like felt like they didn't necessarily have community or friends that understood them, or they're feeling seen, and they all take the emo rides all the time. Like, cause I love obviously pop punk music. Like we all had our phase. And so I love to play it, and it's awesome. And that's kind of what started that crew, was they really loved the pop punk stuff. And then it just boomed and boomed and boomed.
Can you talk about that tagline and where that came from that you end your rides with? Can you talk about where that?
So it's going to get a little heavy, guys. Get ready. So in my senior year of college.
I don't think you've heard this podcast before if you think this is going to get heavy. Oh. We've talked about a lot of things.
I know. That's true. I know. I tend to be like, oh, guys, it's like, it was such a lightweight conversation. And I'm like, no, I don't know how to not.
There's tissues here.
Yeah. Everybody it's getting emotional. No, I appreciate the comedic break before we get into this. And darkness. So my college.
Dim the lights.
Yeah, truly. Ready? We need like the nice little music. Like, I'm thinking of a game show. I can't think of it.
Fog rolls in around your ankles.
Right. Yeah. But
what is it, first of all?
Yeah.
Oh, so it's about how bad my mental health got. So
no, what's the tagline?
The tagline.
Oh, the tagline.
Really,
dude? Guys, I'm still thinking about the fog. I'm still thinking about the fog.
Just all the terrible places I've been to in my mind.
I know. Really
for people that don't know.
Oh, the tagline. Yeah. So the tagline is the tagline came from my dad. It's great. Love this. They're like, she really is an airhead. Oh. Like, yeah. But it came from my dad, and it was, they can knock you down, but they can never knock you out. And I grew up, he had in our basement in Atlanta, he would put up this punching bag, and he like would play Rocky music, and we love Rocky, obviously, great film. And he would get after the bag. And I remember like hearing those chains go. And whenever he was pissed at work or had stuff going on, he would hit the bag, hit the bag, hit the bag. And so it kind of just became something we would say. If my brother were here, he would be like, yep, that was just like the family motto. And so my mental health got really, really dark. And I've talked about this publicly, but I was in a bad place, and trigger word, but like was suicidal and almost went through with it. And went home from college and was with my parents and was having a ton of trouble just like taking care of myself, getting out of bed, showering, like the basic stuff. And he came up to my room and was like, listen, I need to level with you. If you don't start taking care of yourself, like we're going to have to put you in inpatient. It would have pushed me graduating. It was like my worst nightmare. I still have like stress dreams, waking up like I didn't graduate on time. Like it was such a big moment. And he was like, what do I always tell you? What is it? And he's like, this can knock you down, but this will never knock you out. And he's like, I need you to make the choice to get back up. You need to fight this. And I get emotional talking about it, but yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And so when I was teaching my boxing fitness classes in LA, I started closing out the classes that way. And then in my audition for Peloton, I don't know why. And I was, obviously on adrenaline and all these cameras and what's going on. And I closed out the class that same way. And that's kind of what started it. So Never Knocked Out is a shortened version of it. And so it really is. It's that motto of like, you're going to go through hell a million times. And it's just choosing and making the selection like, okay, this can almost completely end me, but it's not going, I'm not going to allow it. There's still another choice. Yeah.
Dude.
I love that.
Yeah. We were talking last week on the podcast about like, I needed a day off, and I just had to do everything at my house. Like I had to like clean my house, clean the kitchen, shower. And
just be a human.
I go,
yeah.
We talked about this last week. I go, dude, it takes so much to live.
To just adult,
just to take care of your body.
And to get groceries and to cook good food. It's a whole.
And I go, I've like struggled with depression, and I've been on antidepressants before, but I go, I don't think I have to like, I don't want to get up.
Yeah.
But I go, imagine, this is what we said last week. I go, imagine all these things with, I don't have the motivation to do it.
Yeah. And then the shame, like so much of it's shame-based too.
Gosh.
And like when
that's
you grow
huge
up
topic
with
on the show, by the way, the shame-based stuff we talk about a lot. Yeah.
And it's so real. Cause that's, I mean, my whole, acting didn't help. I had this brain since birth. Like when my mom, she tells me this story, like she would try to change my diaper when I was a baby. And if there was a wrinkle on a sheet underneath me, I would throw a fit. So my brain has always been I've been very like environmentally aware and very irritated by certain things. And so there's always been a voice in my head. And like now I joke, like I call her Tina. She's such a bitch. I hate her. Tina's awful.
Oh, the inside voice.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, and it's helped to personify it. Again, thank you. Lots of therapy and antidepressants. Like, cause I want people to know, yes, I'm on an antidepressant. It has helped my life so much. Like there's no shame in that. If I had a blood pressure issue and I had diabetes and I had to be on insulin, there would not be the same response. And I think the idea of weakness because you're on a medication is the dumbest thing. But yeah, so there's always been that voice in my head. There's always, it just, at times it can start to win, and it happens so subtly. Like it was a long process to getting into that dark of a place. And if you asked anybody, I was cheerleading at USC. I was in the business program and the film program. I had great grades. Everybody thought I was fine. Like my best friends to this day are like, I had no idea it was that bad because I was so good at fronting and good at pretending. And so now the interesting part, you know, with this job too, and with different responsibilities, it's really helped me be so honest with myself. So when I do go into darker places, and there's been a couple times in the last couple of years that have been rough, especially when you have your life change and you're very isolated, and New York City's great, but it's not my forever home. Yeah. And knowing now that there's people out there that look to me to talk about these things, I'm not joking and not being dramatic when I say, like, knowing that they need me to do this, they need me to keep going. And sometimes that helps. It's
for
not
them,
me.
They need it for you. They need it for them.
Yes, but they are helping me so much because at that point, sometimes I'm like, I don't even know if I would do this for me. Yeah. But I know they want me to do this for them, so I need to do it.
I mean, yeah, sure, it was a little weird, but on the net, it was a positive. It was a positive. You cannot be serious. On the net, it's a positive.